All right, what's up, everybody? It's Faramir4731, and I'm bringing you another Empire multiplayer 2v2 match, and I'm going to be playing as the Plains Nations, and Bo0gi will be playing as the Ottoman Empire, and this is following up on a game that we had played earlier, in which I didn't play as well, and I said that you definitely have to keep fighting the battle. Even if you lose the battle, you got to stay in there and help your teammate. Well, I learned a lot from that match, and this is kind of one of the results of that. Now, you can see it was a no-rules match, and the Russian player brought a tremendous amount of lights, and he brought them all up on my right flank, and he is not going to support them. He does have a lot of firepower for him, but in my center, I'm going to just use my meat shield to go up and absorb the initial volleys while my other lines come up and do the dirty work. He didn't pull back, and the result doesn't bode well for him. Over on the flank, I'm using the trees as cover while he's pulling up trying to shoot me in the trees. So you can see here I'm already starting to break his center attack on me. On this side, I was a little concerned because of the amount of sheer firepower he had, but I just waited for him to make a mistake and leapt on it. And one of them was, I think, a misclick on his furthest flanking unit. I think he misclicked, and I used that to my advantage. When I saw he was reforming that unit, I immediately went into melee on it and brought up the rest of my cav. You can see right here that happening. And also he fired all these other volleys at my line coming up. So going to make short work of all of his lights that he brought, and leave his army pretty much knocked out. Now, going back to what I said, I used the native Plain Nations quite a bit differently than I normally would, because I was playing with Bo0gi. And like I said, I learned a lot from our last battle together, and I learned that I have to be a little bit more patient because he's one that likes to use his artillery to wake people up, and he definitely used his artillery masterfully against, as you can see, my opponent hitting me with the artillery too. So initially, after I beat back his lights, I'm going to pull my flanking force back where it's out of his range of his howsers, and he's going to realize that his units are useless there, so he's going to pull them over to his teammate. The Russian player does. So he moves them to the center of the map, and then I'm able to move around his flank freely to completely encircle them. And the Maratha player is going to push Bo0gi's flank on our left and on their right. You can see here also more bloodshed in the center from my musketmen. Man, they are really good. So I'm going to frustrate them. They're pushing up in the center to try and break my center and then flank Bo0gi from both sides. Bo0gi's pretty well entrenched, and like I said, I'm being patient. I've got a lot of units waiting, whereas usually when I play the natives, I'll push up with everything, and you know, the problem with doing that is your units get extremely tired very quickly in the battle. In this battle, I think this is the best I've ever used the natives, because man, do I unleash some damage upon them. But again, some of it is because of the rules, and the opponents didn't really bring the best units, but if they worked better as teammates, they would have probably done a little bit better. And that happens a lot. Sometimes if you're in your first match with somebody that you're not used to, it takes time to learn your teammate as well as your opponents. So that's kind of what you see the result of this battle being, because I mean they do fold their flank back very well. They use a unit to hold me back while they're able to fold their flank while they push on their other, which was really a good move for them. But you can see Bo0gi is very well entrenched, and he uses the choke points well, and they do put up a good fight against him, but you can see he has a tremendous amount of units and a lot in reserve to plug in wherever he is needing them, and so they will try to constantly push the flank further and further, but they don't coordinate all their units together in this attack well. So the result is they can't stretch the flank as they probably could have. And you can see they're using their housers to hit me as I'm coming over, because they do have a bit of a gap, so I'm going to exploit that with the units I had hidden in the trees, and come over the hill and hit them in the center, and then exploit this big gap you see here between their lines, and completely envelop one of the contingents and basically annihilate it. And you can see my musketmen taking a toll on them here on the center as well. And I'm going to wrap their flank. I'm going to use my cav that came all the way around, and it's going to unleash a deadly battle. Now over here on Bo0gi's flank, again, he's got some amazing units to go up against. The Russians bring some really good units that they have left after all their lights bit the dust. You can see they put up quite a fight here, but they, again, do not coordinate their units together as well as they probably could have. But again, some of that is, it's hard to communicate through chat, and if you do voice chat, it makes it a lot easier. And if it's not a friend, it does make it more difficult. So you can see as he's trying to wrap the flank, Bo0gi's just picking him off as he's trying to stretch the flank, because the maneuvering wasn't the best, if you will. But again, it is one of these matches where this battle was actually quite long, and you can see there's a little bit of lag in it too. So I think this battle was over an hour, because it took a considerable amount of time for me to flank all the way around, because again, I had to push back, and then they pushed over to the center, and it took a long time for all the maneuvering. The initial battle started quickly, and I was able to knock out a tremendous amount of his units rapidly, but the rest of the battle took quite long. And again, it was a lot of patience, and here comes my cav, and I was really impressed with how well we did in this match. Like I said, it pays to learn your teammate as much as it does your opponent. And I try not to ever slam my teammate, even if I don't feel like they did the best or didn't make the right decisions. I'm just like, okay, this is what we need to do next battle, and that's how you should take it. And you can see the devastation that I'm going to put on his heavy cav here. So yeah. So anyways, a lot of losses that you might face in this game when you play 2v2 or 3v3 is excuse me, is a lot of times due to the communication factor between yourself and your teammate. So when you go into these battles, that's the thing you have to make sure that you understand and don't be frustrated by. You know, get rapport with people and you know, try to play with the same, you know, partners and so forth, and gain friends. And that's why it's best not to be disrespectful to other players. You know, I do like to have fun and tease and joke around and rag, but I always try to keep it pretty civil. So anyway, yeah, this was a fun match. Really impressed by how we worked together on this match. And like I said, you can play with any teammate and you can play against any opponent. You might not always win, but you can, you know, there's always 1 out of 20 battles or 10 battles you might win. You know, everybody can be beaten and everybody can win. You know, everyone has bad games and so on and so forth. So for anyone that's new, I always say just keep at it. It's a really fun game once you you know, keep playing and plugging along. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, because I enjoy making it. And you know, please keep liking and subscribing, and I appreciate everybody's support. Thanks again, and look forward to doing more battles with y'all.